Good morning, and again, happy Black History Month. Our Black History presentation this morning comes in the form of a poem. Early movements within Black poetry had roots and examples in the Black literary tradition, as well as roots from outside the Black literary tradition. So, what is Black poetry? Black poetry refers to poems written by African Americans in the United States. It is a subsection of African American literature filled with cadence, intentional repetition, and alliteration. African American poetry predates the written word and is linked to a rich oral tradition. John Hammond, a Long Island slave, wrote poems primarily of a religious moral character. He was conservative in his thinking and devoted to early Methodist religion. Hammond, the first African American to publish a poem, An Evening Thought, in 1761, Longed for Salvation from This World, is based on a Methodist hymn, and in its construction echoes hundreds of other such similar works. Phyllis Wheatley was drawn by revolutionary passion for liberty that culminated in the American Revolution. She wrote poems that reflected on her comfortable and privileged status as an educated slave. Her poems, as well as Hammond's verse, are about the issues of religious devotedness, patriotism, and liberation, which did not address moral issues of slavery and universal equality. There are many famous Black poets such as Maya Angelou, Paul Laurence Dunbar, Nikki Giovanni, Langston Hughes, Gwendolyn Brooks, and Phyllis Wheatley, just to name a few. We were introduced to Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman at President Joe Biden's inauguration. Now, to give us a poem is Galilee's own Poet Laureate, Cheryl Davis.
Our Black History poem for today. History is defined as the whole series of past events connected with someone or something, and as African Americans, we are rooted in it to the core. The evolution of who we have become as a people is still in progress for what life for us has in store. Beginnings of royalty as kings, queens, pharaohs, and rulers adorned with priceless jewels as commanders of the land, overseeing millions and having pyramids erected that have stood the test of time, constructed by sand. Stolen from everything that was known and forced to endure boat rides that would forever change our trajectory. Hundreds of years of slavery were to follow, for some no end in sight would they ever see. The fortitude displayed that had to withstand, I am not even sure if they were aware. Even with all that came with slavery, their joy was never taken, and they still knew there was a heaven somewhere. Through their resilience and because of their sacrifices, our cyclical journey is coming back full force. For us as a people, our journey in life was and will never be a straight path, but a winding course. We have returned to being rulers of lands and prominent recognized minds creating cures in the midst of a pandemic. Our rise is predestined, God designed, and not by circumstance or a gimmick. We are thankful for the red blood shed on Calvary that carried life to our ancestors and from them to us. Blessed with many innate gifts, success is not an option, it is a must. Black for the richness of our skin that comes in many melanated hues and tones, royalty infused in every part of our being, down to the marrow of the bone. Green for our connection to the earth and all the richness that it brings. Like it, hope continues to rise from us as a mighty spring. Yellow for the S-U-N, but ultimately the S-O-N that shines on us from up above. Showering down his forever blessings, glory, but most of all, his love. Through it all, we have never folded or bended, but with the help of God, always found a way. The history of us as a people is still being told. It isn't the past. Our Black history is today.